Is this thing on? Oh, this thing is on. Now, in the beginning, there was God, allegedly. And God was good. I think that's how the Bible goes. Something about the word as well as in there somewhere. There was light, there was darkness. And then eventually on fifth day, I think it was, he decided to sit down and he was like, you know what, there is something fundamentally missing about this wonderful, operation, this whole big great shebang that I put together. And he was like, I need to introduce something that's going to actually make this, a life worth living. And so he introduced the Leaguie suit jacket. It's back. How's it going, everyone? Good to see you. So this is going to be one of the most cobbled together streams of all time. Those of you who are eagle-eyed will know that this is not the usual angle at which you come at me. However, okay, basically what happened is I left Canberra yesterday and I was like, I'm going to pack all my things. It's going to be wonderful. And I did pack all my things. It was wonderful. I planned out how my weekend was going to go. I'm like, I got all my Roosters gear, got enough clothes, enough like all that stuff. And then I was like, oh, hang on. I brought none of my streaming gear with me. Absolutely none of it. Luckily, I brought my microphone because if I hadn't brought this, we would have been in some serious Barney. This one did occur to me. Everything else, though, no. So, like, my camera, don't have it, mate. My stand that I put my camera on, don't have it, mate. That's why, like, you've got this big wide angle. I'm going to zoom in more. So, there we go. Okay. Whoa! How about we go with that? I think that's good. Where are you? I'm in my family home in Sydney. I also, and this is something I did prepare for, I bought Pepsi Max. Thank you, US Warrant, for following. I brought Pepsi Max, but I before I started streaming, I looked for it. I can't find it. So I'm sorry. I think it was Lorenzo. Someone redeemed a Pepsi Max. My bad. I'm just gonna have to owe you one because I don't have it. Well, I do have it. It's somewhere in this room, but yeah. Anyway, why are you so beautiful? Flattering light and hair. Why did you bring the headphones? I always bring my headphones. These are just the actual headphones that I wear, unironically, when going about my daily business. I'm trying to figure out a place to put this iPad. I can never think of a good spot. I might lean... Oh, I've got a candle up here. I might lean it on the candle up there. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that might just work. Okay, here. So I'm also using a different software, so you can see that little watermark pop up. But bang, watermark's gone. Magic. I was waiting for that to happen. All right. We are so back. That we are. We are going to be so gone again tomorrow because I'm at the Roosters game. Just 1 sec. I'm going to change something about the camera. You look like you're about to be interviewed on a political web show. I mean, it feels a bit like that, sitting here wearing a suit and all that. Speaking of suits, you're going to see tomorrow morning something go live on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. My first ever piece of sponsored content when I went into Roger Bartholomew, a tailor in Canberra, to get my suit done. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be interesting. It's very weird for me. I'm used to my setup in Canberra. I'm like, where's the chat supposed to be? Normally I'm looking at the chat. No, I'm looking there, and it is there. Some other stuff's the wrong way around. Anyway, we're about to have kickoff. There it is. If you do want to sync up with me, we are well and truly underway. Start with a good catch. They're on to Leaguie. Now, I haven't shown you the site to start this, and that is due to a number of factors, but one is that I'm working off a different monitor and all the sizing is weird for the live stream. Anyway, does anyone care? Frankly, does anyone give 2/3 of a damn? I will say, evidently some people care about this. Asked about my grandmother, who is very, very sick right now and was the reason why I couldn't stream yesterday. I had to visit her in hospital. She's alive. We'll see how much longer for. But yeah, anyway, she's around for now. When can we watch it? The bit of content tomorrow morning, 8:30 it goes up. And that's still a half break there down the right-hand side for Manly-Warringah. It's quite a decently entertaining game last night. I was sad to have missed it. Anyway, Fogarty puts it up on the last. Now, fun fact about that hill that's there in the background. As the Dragons knock on, it's going to be Manly ball, so I'll get through this quickly. At the start of the season, you know how I predicted Manly for the spoon and everyone's been clowning me for it? Bloke and Bar went a step further. They not only predicted Manly spoon, but they said if in the penultimate round, Manly's last home game, Manly are in a mathematical chance of making finals. They will all go out head to toe in Manly gear and stand on the Manly Hill. And so they're out there tonight. And I was actually, if I had streamed yesterday and was streaming tomorrow, I'd probably have gone out to Brookvale tonight. It's so far away from where I live. But just to, go hang out, go say hello, because there'll be a lot of content creators out there. They want to go to the short side there. Back in field, they tried to do the Rob Toya, did not work to ribbon gank the future Rooster. Head dent check. Ah, yes, you did redeem a head dent check, didn't you? Sorry. In my defense, it's not my fault when you redeem it before I actually get on camera. I will do that just after this attacking raid here. Tom Trbojevic has the ball. Holds it, still going here. A little bit of a kit clash in some respects, just because of how white the back of Manly's jersey is. Well, front as well, of Manly's jersey is. Shifting to the right-hand side now, and it's Hamole Olakawatu who finds the ground. So this is going to be the third now. Mic quality, is it noticeably worse? I mean, it's obviously a different mic. I can change it. I don't know if that will make it better or not, so yeah. Anyway, that kick on the fourth did not work. Here's your head dent check. Oh, that is dented. That is well and truly dented. I always have this little thing, this little lock of hair that goes cold forward. Not a big fan of it. It sounds better. The microphone? Really? It shouldn't. That's not a good thing at all. I'll turn it down slightly. Really weird that Money God has just said Ringo. I just watched an episode of The Simpsons that had Ringo in it. Penalty there to the Dragons. Whereas Coco, currently somewhere downstairs. How much to grow that hair into mutton chops? I don't think I have the facilities for that. I don't know if I've got the facial hair capacity. But I just want to get rid of it, frankly. I just want to get rid of it. It sounds like there isn't a mic plugged in. That's not good. It should sound, like a decent microphone. And definitely it is getting the audio from this little microphone here. But anyway. So up to the halfway line, the Dragons, off the back of that penalty, it was former Sea Eagle Moses Sully. Yeah, decent little career there. Leaguie, it's the OG Did Leaguie Swear I'm now on Twitch. Really? The OG Did Leaguie Swear as opposed to the current Did Leaguie Swear? Was there more than one that I wasn't paying attention to? Touchman with an offload there. I don't know if it was Rashman or Touchman, but anyway, Cook has knocked it on. It's an absolute mess over there right now. And Cook's not happy about it. Go get Coco, please. We need it. Don't worry. We're going to be here for the next 4 hours, and she will come into the room at some stage. She will absolutely come into the room at some stage. It sounds almost underwater. Well, let me see. I'll mess around with the settings a bit. I'll mute the microphone and mess around with the settings. Okay. I made it quieter. Is it synced up? I don't think it is synced up to my mouth. I don't know. That was not something that I noticed beforehand. Is that better or worse? It looks just a lot quieter. And I don't know if that's a good thing. How is it 0-0? Because the game has gone for 5 rugby league minutes. Garrick. Still alive here. Gets it to Hamole Olakawatu. You're too quiet now? Okay. Would somewhere in between be better? Okay, I went back to the initial setting. I'd compare it to someone's mic on Xbox Live. That's really a shame. It's supposed to be a decently good microphone. It's a microphone I record with at games, and it tends to go quite well at games. But anyway, alrighty. Hopewadi returning the ball here. There was something I was gonna say. Cannot remember. Thank you, WTF.
Well, that's why you get the big bucks, mate. That's why you get the big bucks.
Saristas by 40, 50 or 60 legman last stream.
Sorry about that massive Windows noise. Yeah, look. Am I pleased about the situation? No, of course I'm not pleased about the situation. Did I expect it to be rubbed in even more today? Yeah, of course I did. Because that's, that's part of the experience. But I'm not going to be happy about it. We'll see tomorrow. Who are you going for in this one? I don't care. Dragons, I guess. But no, I thought about nothing but tomorrow's game since last week's game. So, someone top says, where's Pepsi? Yeah, I'd like to know that myself. I brought one. It's somewhere in this room. Could not find it before I needed to go live. That's my bad. Well, I tried the microphone on a couple of different settings. I can try, I've got a different actual microphone. I'll swap them around. It probably won't make a difference, but... Are we on? Oh, we're on. I don't know if this is going to be better. I don't know if it's going to be worse. I don't know if it's going to be the same. But anyway, I'm here. Try. Pretty easy in the end. Hopawati, the man celebrating that one there for Manly. Just a simple shift, really, to the left-hand side. Much better, really? There's absolutely no reason why it should be. Every setting is exactly the same. That's a concern if this is a much better microphone. But anyway, a lovely pass there from Faulalo. That was beautiful. Beautiful. Would you rather bird flu or influenza? Influenza's not that bad. It's just the flu. So I'm taking influenza. It sounds better, not clearer, but at least louder. Loudness was the problem? Loudness shouldn't have been the problem. Anyway, well, I guess I could just... I was wearing it on my lapel before. It's called a lapel mic, but I'll just hold it for the next 4 hours and in front of me. That'll be completely fine. No stress. Maybe a bit loud. I can turn it down. Put it back on. It's too buzzy. Okay. Everyone seems to have different thoughts and feelings. Alright. I don't know if this is better. I don't know if this is worse. This is the way I want to keep it, as Fogarty does miss that one. So 4 points to nil, it remains. What will be the halftime entertainment? Am I not enough for you? Just, general conversation with me. Is that not good enough? I could try and come up with something else if you so desire. Might go get me dog. Probably that's the plan, realistically, if she hasn't come into that point. So, yeah. Just stand in the corner and yell the recap. I mean, I can do that. This is the difference between my setup here and my setup in Canberra. Because it's a portable microphone. I can just go do it over here. It doesn't make a difference to me. Bit of long distance watching of the game. That's the tricky part of the situation, but everything else is exactly the same. And it's proof that I'm actually tall, by the way. I don't know. I think the camera angle is making my legs look longer than they are. It's a bit of a 0.6 kind of situation, but yeah, I mean, I think that this works. I'm certainly a hell of a lot more relaxed. This is way better. With a bit of sultry jazz music playing in the background as well. We've had 10 whopping rugby league minutes gone so far in this game. And thankfully, we've got to try to write home about because there's nothing else on the line in this one. That's for sure. The legs definitely look longer than the torso. I mean, they are. I'm a tall fella, but maybe not that much longer. Why is bro wearing shoes? I don't know. I don't want you guys to see my dogs for anything less than triple figures. So, all right, up over the halfway line there through Clayton Faulalo, who is surprisingly is rolling the 6 today. Thank you, Mario.
LK are not making the GF big loss to Wigan this morning. Probably whoever beats Wigan and leads in the GF this year.
Hang on, is that... It's not their finals yet, is it? or is it a prediction that Hull aren't making the grand final because of their big loss to Wigan, which I did see. I just thought it was still regular season. But yeah, no, I mean, I think Leeds have been my Super League favourite since the start of the year, really. So I don't know. Immediate donation from Mario after the proposal of dogs for triple figures. Mario's, a bit of a Tarantino kind of man. Let's just put it that way. Why have we gone back to the 1900s with this stream? How so? Color warmth, microphone quality, attire. I know I don't look like such a, young man of the youth, man of the streets, man of the Canberra ends, so to speak, without my hoodie. But, are you showing the game? I'm not showing the game, Justin. I'm showing myself because myself is much more entertaining, obviously. Dude, call the game? I'm gonna be honest. Maybe go watch BKR Sports one. I don't call the game that much. I just kind of chat. BKR Sports commentates the game more. All right, Wakeham is in at dummy half. They find Fogarty on the last. It's not completely packed out, but the crowd out there is good. Jeez, they went up for that catch. It has been knocked on again. Dan Atkinson does dive on it. But they've said first knock on is Manly. Who's this referee? Who's this ref? I haven't seen this ref before. Is he on debut? Normally I know when the ref is debuting because obviously, the NRL have to personally inform me, seeing as I am, the number one resident referee enthusiast. Of course, NRL.com doesn't say it's been knocked on by Moses Sully. It's actually, the ball's been knocked on by Moses Sully. Holy Moses, bro. Holy Moses. He parted his possession with the ball, and the sea of Manly-Warringah is about to go straight through. Who scored? Hopawati. It's not Ziggy. It's not Ziggy, right? I don't think that's Ziggy. Close to the line, but not quite there. Camera quality's better. That's really. I mean, this is a better phone. I just didn't think it would be really noticeable. The resolution is supposed to be the same. All right. Laiapi hitting it up to the 10-meter line. Couple of tackles left. J-Ross says, "Your lane, bro. Get a real job." You'll be very happy to know I've been offered a placement as a lawyer in a law firm. So I've done exactly that. Thank you for your support. Much appreciated. Close to the line here. Wakeham. 4 tackles left. That ball has come free. I think it's just knocked on by Laiapi, unfortunately. He's not a former Dragon at all. You see, I'm definitely confusing it with Viliami Fafita, who made that move. I think Laiapi just came through at Manly. He doesn't have a Wikipedia page, so... yeah, it looks like just Manly. Looks like just Manly. Bulldogs or Panthers? In terms of who's going to win, Panthers. In terms of who I want to win, 100 billion% Bulldogs. I'm going to be as belligerently blue and white as you could possibly imagine. Possibly imagine. Hello, Reckless Ollie. How are you going? Again, use Rugby League Project for his New South Wales Cup history. Yeah, that's what I ended up doing. His name's Nick Pelgrave. It's his NRL referee debut. He's been a ref for NRLW and touchy for NRL. There we go. Well done, Nick Pelgrave. It's a shame that didn't get any more publicity. I know we've debuted 3 other refs. It must have been knocked on by Tupper. It was. Damn, I didn't even notice that. We've debuted 3 other refs this season, so this is going to be the 4th. But the other 3 all got a decent little bit of publicity. So, yeah, wow, it just bounced right back up into his hands. So I must have blinked or something. I didn't even notice he dropped it. That's hilarious. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago, we were doing players who could have sworn played for a certain club but didn't? I've got a great one. Dave Fafita was a Rooster, right? Surely. I mean, I don't know. Maybe for me, being a Roosters fan, I would have noticed. He signed for us. That's probably what you're thinking. But then he backflipped. Did he backflip? Yes, he did backflip. So yeah, in a different world, Dave Fafita would have been a Rooster. Jeez, it is truly one of the most diabolical ball handling games I've ever seen. They've knocked on again there, the Dragons. Holy. Holy. Thoughts on kickoff rule being introduced to reduce big wins debuting in a game with a score of 46-20? Yeah. I mean, they didn't use it for the whole first half, right? I didn't really watch the game very much. I was visiting my grandmother at the time, so I don't know really how it went in terms of the flow of the game. But I've made my thoughts on it quite clear. So, yeah. Who should partner Moses at the World Cup? Rajab, Conti, Wakeham, or someone else? Oh, I'm hoping Wakeham plays for Fiji. Thank you, Watson.
Luna says grats on becoming the League Eagle less than 3.
Thank you very much, Luna. Much appreciated. And thank you for the $2, of course, Watson. Jake Jawoy, which was through there. Bit of a half break. They've gone up again there. I think it's Nathan Brown. Really, really close. I'll finish that Lebanon question in just a sec, because there's one tackle left here. Manly on the attack again. Wakeham finds Fogarty. There's space for a kick in behind. Puts it over the top. Bang. Bang. Saab was onside surely there. Hits it at pace. Speaking of Lebanese people, Jason Saab scores for Manly. Yeah, so in terms of who should partner Moses, I mean, I can't say I've watched Rajab since his last international game for Lebanon, so I don't know. Obviously, was quite disappointed to see the way he won't be available. But it's not quite the same situation as a lot of different players pulling out, where like he's not currently playing for the Tigers. So clearly, it's not that kind of trade-off. But anyway. Leaguie, do you like Cherry Evans? Big Cherry Evans enthusiast. I like Cherry Evans even before he signed for the Roosters. Even though it was a Queenslander, even though he played for, a team who kind of one of the Roosters' rivals. I always liked him. I always liked his demeanor. So I'm glad that he's come to the Roosters. Could Saab have done a Rugby League World Cup SBW and slipped dead? Could have. But that was now 13 years ago. Evidently, it doesn't happen very often. So, please spare us last round. I think it's going to be up to us. I think it's going to be a really good competitive fixture. Arthur Beetson Cup tomorrow. Yes, in a stadium with the Arthur Beetson stand in it. Lots of symmetry there. Lots of symmetry. Sorry to hear that fundamentally. That's right. Kick from Fogarty. And that one does stay inside, so it's 10 points to 0.
Well, that's why you get the big bucks, baby. That's why you get the big bucks.
The Sun says grats on becoming the League Eagle less than 3.
I see what you did. I see what you did there, and I appreciate the $3. Luna being someone's name, and obviously Luna means the moon. The opposite of the moon is the sun. So, but there we go. We're getting a bit of publicity for the ref now. That's nice. That's nice. Leaguie, have you got 27-0 yet? Because I was trying it earlier. I tried a few rounds with the pack mode. And tell me why Cam Smith, Thurston, SBW, Gallon, Teddy, and the Troll lose 6 whole games. Because of random variables in the coding. That's the reason. But no, I haven't got it. And I'll probably try it again at some point today, but Also, Chiefs trying to sign Cleary. I don't know how much truth there is to it. I don't know how much truth there is to him going. I said this in my Discord the other day, in fact yesterday. People are talking about the money that he's going to be on, or he would be on. And I'm like, I don't think that is a motivator for him. I really don't think it is. Money's like, let's say he's going to earn 15 million over the course of his career staying at Penrith, which is what he would earn. It's not going to be a massive needle mover to earn 20 million by going to the Chiefs over the course of his career. It's not a huge difference in terms of your own quality of life. And then he earns even more from sponsorships and stuff. Mary Fowler does. So it's going to be another knock-on for the Dragons here. They've given the ball to Manly in great field position. Atkinson has come up with a number of moments so far in this first half. And he's down injured. This could be genuinely a bit of a... I wouldn't be too far away from hooking him. I'm being honest. Maybe that's a bit reactionary, but I don't know. St George Dragons fan says Junior Ponga Cup. I don't think that's correct. Do you mean Roosters and Dolphins? Because, no, I don't think he ever played for the Dolphins. US says, will you be streaming the Roosters v Tampa Mayhem game? Also, the Mayhem coach liked a comment of mine tagging you and then followed me. Well, that's very cool. I absolutely did want to and did plan to. It's not tomorrow morning though, right? It's Sunday morning. Because I thought it was tomorrow morning and I was like, yeah, I should be able to do that. Although even, as it turns out, I probably couldn't have anyway. But Sunday morning, I'm traveling back to Canberra to be home in time to stream Sunday's NRL games. And so I'm going to be traveling back while the game is on. So, yeah. Anyway, Manly on the attack here. Leaguie hits it up to the 10-meter line, tackled there. They're looking good for their third try of this game so far here, Manly. Fogarty across to Fainola Kawatu, hit hard there by, was it Liking King Tonga? It was. Still going here on the third. Leaguie just takes another hit up. He's bloody close. He's only about a metre shy of the try line there. Wakeham to the right-hand side finds Nathan Brown. Now Jamal Fogarty puts boot to ball. Garrick is the man chasing. Saab's going to be the man to get there. And my God, that was soft. There was just no Dragons chasers on the outside there. Disappointing for the Dragons, but Manly get their third. Yeah, that's the problem. Vid Leaguie, or US Warren. Oh, wait, or you sword. You sword, of course, that would be it. You sword. Yeah, unavoidable. Unfortunately, I won't be able to watch it on the bus either because there's just not good enough Wi-Fi on the bus. Chico, I'm going to the Roosters Dolphins game tomorrow. So, Lily says, I got my friends to start using the legendary term Bisbee Bonkers. I'm glad. I'm very glad. I got to say, I can't take too much credit for it. The Bisbee part I came up with. But there's a Reddit community called r/NRL Premium Plus, and there was a meme trend. You still see it nowadays a little bit, where it'll be a screenshot of some messages, and it looks like a celebrity has texted you, and it's like, hi, Taylor Swift here. I've run out of money to get an Uber. Can you please, send me $20 or whatever, and I'll give you backstage tickets. So, stuff like that. Anyway, someone on this Reddit community made a version of it that was Kevin Walters. And I don't remember what he was asking for or why he was asking for it. But the person had replied saying, how do I know you're the real Kevin Walters? And he just replied with the word bonkos. And I was like, that's brilliant. I love everything about that. I love absolutely everything about that word. I think it's genius to remove the R. Like, who could have possibly conceived of such an idea? So, as such, Bonkos was born, and then Bisbee Bonkos was born out of that. So, yeah. I might be completely wrong, but I think Saab scored like 4 tries against the Dragons a few years ago. Well, you would remember if it did happen. Certainly a bit of trauma associated there, no doubt about that. I just joined the live. Where are you? At a hotel? Absolutely not. I'm in my bedroom, up in my family home in Sydney. I'm surprised. I do come up here quite often. I'm surprised that so many people have asked where I am. But yeah, every now and then I'll come up and visit Sydney, and this is where I live when I'm up here. Probably next year I'll be living here, at least for a bit. All right, Olakawatu to find Tom Trbojevic in the center position. Now Saab is clear, has men inside, finds Garrick inside. He's going to go the length. Sloan cannot catch him. And I was going to play the goodbye soundbite, but my audio thing isn't rigged up properly. So I'll just say goodbye. They score again. Let's see if the soundboard works now. No, it doesn't.
Goodbye!
Yes, it does. So to give you guys a little bit of an insight into how cobbled together this stream is, right? Not only do I not have the stand that I put my phone on, and like currently I've got the wrong phone that's propped up on a mug on a desk that I'm looking into, and like I'm slouched down so that I'm at the level of the camera. But I always have my headphones that can connect to multiple devices connected to my laptop with an aux cable and then Bluetooth to my iPad to watch the game. But it can't do like Bluetooth to more than one device. So my headphones currently, because I don't have this cable, they're connected to my laptop through Bluetooth. And it's got here an earpiece in underneath the headphones that's connected to the commentary. So I'm hearing you guys on this side and Greg Alexander on the other. Thank you for following Dragons fan. That's definitely St George Dragons fan because it's pretty much the exact same username. Fogarty hits that easily and this lead is ballooning out. I mean, frankly, I don't think there's much question at this point in the game as to who's going to win it. But yeah, it's looking dangerous here. It's looking dangerous. Thoughts on Broncos not playing rugby league last night? I mean, I didn't really watch the game until the final 10 minutes. So, Chico, unfortunately, I know you followed before. It's the Rentos thing to refollow. So I've got to time you out, brother. I've got to time you out. You know the rules. This has happened before. Got to time you out. At the Brisbane Broncos thing, one of my friends thought I should refer to Roosters as the Oosters. And they thought I was a Bunnies fan. I've never been more offended in my life. Well, I'll tell you what, it actually would really work, and here's why. Because in Dutch, the word East is Oost, O-O-S-T. So what that word looks like is Oosters, Easters, and we are Easts. So like that makes a lot of sense. So like in a way, if you deep it and you think about that, kind of works out. I am surprised that the camera is noticeably better. It shouldn't be. Thank you, Leaguie's left eye. That would be this one. Much appreciated. Yeah, audio quality should definitely be worse. This is a worse microphone, notably, as Manly get a penalty there. It's making me think. I don't know if I could use this camera when I'm in Canberra. Because it's my phone and I use it to change the background color. I need to figure out a different way of changing the background color. Can I feel your hair? If you want to come to my place, I won't tell you where it is. You're just going to have to knock on every door in Sydney. But if you come to my place, then you can feel my hair, yes. Audio quality was apparently even worse at the start of the stream, so... yeah. Alrighty. On the first here, Navale hits it up. He's a Rugby League World Cup success story. Caleb Navale. I'm really glad that he's going to be available. As Garrick hits the ball up here. Oh, good St George Dragons fans. See you later. Wakeham finds Brown. I'm feeling 28 here. Honestly, Dragons have really shown nothing in defence. A couple of good results towards the back end of the season, but they've gone away from that for sure in this one. Jake Jawovic finds Falalo. Now Tom has space, goes himself, bang. Too easy. And, yeah, they love it there at Brookvale. The Manly side are soaring as the Sea Eagles pile on the pain. Tiger says, I had a 2-hour exam today. I did not. How did yours go? I did have to write an essay, though. I've still got a lot of work to do on that, actually. Yeah, not fun. I should leave a reminder for myself about that, actually, to do after the stream. But I can't, because currently, my phone is being used as my camera. What I'm going to do is... I learned this from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, which I don't know, some of you guys might be a bit young for Diary of a Wimpy Kid. But if you think of something and you want to like leave a reminder for yourself later, just pick up an object. In my case here, it's going to be this Rooster's cap. And just throw it next to your door. And so then later on, when you go to leave the room, you're going to think, oh, why is that object, in this case a Rooster's hat, there on the floor in front of my door? And you will remember why it's there. It's a genius idea. He did it with a pillow, which I think was kind of clever. Never watched that show, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It is a series of books, so the movie's secondary. Alright, inconsequential, frankly. Fogarty hits it and misses it. $26 remains. The pillow method, that's it. It's the pillow method, and it's genius. Glad the exam went well, Tiger. I am really tempted to try and find this bottle of Pepsi Max that's somewhere in my room here. It's got to be somewhere. Because I bought 2. I don't get it, man. Unless someone nefarious came into my room and stole it. I think that's maybe the only possibility. Thoughts on Sunderland starting the Prem with a loss? Well, newsflash, this might surprise people. I wasn't happy. It wasn't a good sporting weekend for me last week, that's for sure. We conceded a 90th minute winner to an ex-player of ours, and Jack Clark, and the Roosters obviously lose to the Tigers. Then Oscar Piastri has maybe the worst tie strategy of all time in the Dutch Grand Prix, which is going to be the last Dutch Grand Prix for the indefinite future. So yeah, I was not best pleased. Was not best pleased with the situation. And anyway, it's alright. You went 27-0 today? Good stuff, Tiger. Manly are baying for 6 again here as the ball has come out the back. The halfway through a set. Looks like they're not going to get any love here on that call. So it's actually going to work out to be quite a good set here for the Dragons, provided there's no line break here. Is that Felody? Yes. No, it's not Felody. Who is that? I think it was Linaz. Yeah, it is. My God, he's done something else with his hair. He has done something else. Your side profile looks like a Cybertruck with a neck. That doesn't... Wait, actually, well, is that a good thing? I feel like I'm rounder than a Cybertruck. A Cybertruck's kind of chiseled. Did Sunfort not get renewed? Correct, it did not get renewed. According to my mate who knows a lot about F1. I don't know. Do your own research. Do your own research. Thoughts on Broncos women's team losing because they made Tamika Upton captain instead of the GOAT Caitlin Owen. Honestly, also lost to the same team Bodie Sharpley plays for. I mean, it just makes sense, doesn't it? It just makes sense. But no, I was quite glad to see it from a Roosters and NRW perspective. I'll get to see them tomorrow. Tom Trbojevic has knocked the ball on again. I don't know if there's something wrong with the floodlights out there at Brookvale, but everyone is just knocking the ball on. First real good opportunity here for the Dragons. And only took half an hour. They've got an opportunity here. Can they hold it? Can they hold it? NRL head on thoughts on Cowboys not going to make the 8. I mean, I hope they don't. Because of a personal bet that I've got with regular of the Channel C Phantom. 6 more there for the Dragons. But I think they will. I'm pretty much resigned to the fact that they will. Loco there with a bit of a half break, but didn't have anyone in support. All right, on for Flanagan. Now King Tongia. So this is the third. Cook finds Flanagan deep into the line. Lovely shot ball there for Dylan Egan, who's going to get very close, but not quite going to get to the line. He's going to be ruled held up. Roosters playing the Underwater Creators tomorrow. What does Creators even mean in that sense? As opposed to, you know, the Sharks, who are equally as underwater. And Eels, frankly. That was a weird old tap on from Atkinson, but anyway, I mean, it worked. Is that going to be ruled as played at? I think it is. I think it's going to be Dragons ball here. What a poor knock on from Tom Trbojevic, really. NRL head says, nah, they lose into Tigers. I mean, I don't personally see that happening, but I didn't see it happening last week either, so. The only difference is this time I'd be very happy to see it happen. Madsen, once again, I do, in fact, know that is a line from Iron the Wars. Sitting on a cornflake, waiting for the van to come. I can't really say the rest of the lyrics of that song, they're a little bit etched. Anyway, Cook is going to be the man in that dummy half here. Going to the left-hand side, Pacific Tonga. Just another hit up. That obviously is their strength, going through the middle of the Dragons. Very good pack. That will be a try. Oh, it's gone begging. Is absolutely commentator's curse. Webster, Jacob Webster had a massive opportunity there for the Dragons. I don't think that's a name I've ever commentated before, so I don't know if he's on debut or what. But it was there for him, and the ball just comes free. Bit of white line fever. How does one sit on a cornflake? You get a cornflake, you put it down on a seat, and you just go. I always thought I wouldn't want to be that cornflake that John Lennon allegedly sat on in the lyrics of the song I Am the Walrus. Anyway. And do you like the murder mystery movie named after a Beatles lyric? That would be Glass Onion. And yes, I do quite like it. Decent movie. There was... It's the sequel to Knives Out, right? Knives Out was the first one. Glass Onion was the second. I was disappointed that they didn't use the song Glass Onion very much in it. But anyway, penalty there, Manly. So that's a real pressure reliever. Real pressure reliever. Thoughts on Dolly Parton being dead? Can't believe this is how I found out. No, I'm kidding. I obviously knew. Although, like, because I'm into old music, a lot of people would think that I like Dolly Parton. I've just never really listened to Dolly Parton much, aside from like the obvious Dolly Parton songs. I just remember she was a weird case of being an old, like, you know, country music singer who was progressive in a political sense. Yeah, that was nice. Anyway. So Simpkin is in at dummy half here as they get another 6 tackles. It's all Manly. Granted, like, obviously Dragons had a pretty decent opportunity down the other end of the field and Manly defended it well, but it's all Seagulls. All Seagulls. Did Dragons try it? Dragons did not try. 6-4 again there for Manly. Yes, it's true, Madsen. Dolly Parton did sing Islands in the Stream, which is the... I can't really whistle that well. Well, I can actually normally. Just not right now. But yeah, I can't listen to that song anymore. Actually, it's just completely been ruined. Like, entirely been ruined. It was actually a really good slips catch there from Leaguie King Tonga to get the kick of Jamal Fogarty. You can't hear it? Wow, it's not even picking it up on my microphone. That's how quietly I'm doing it. Wow, no, it really isn't. It really isn't. Thoughts on the Rugby League World Cup TV deal in the UK? Not good. It's me streamed on Premier Sports, which is not... Like, I don't know if the Rugby League World Cup's been done on BBC before, but the Ashes was BBC last year. So I was kind of holding out for that. Even a Sky would have been nice, but not good. They're just not really taking steps forward in that department, which is annoying. So, yeah. Cook. Divine Curb. Mr. Duck says, quick story from me. I'm a volunteer coach for an all-ability soccer club where kids with disabilities get to play. One of the kids in my team, his name's Nate, is appearing on Better Homes and Gardens. If I remember, that's the show. As a part of his Make-A-Wish, that's very cool. That's very cool. I'm really glad for him. King Tonga, short ball there, very close to the line. Gets an offload away, straight to Jason Saab, who might have a bit of space here. But finds the ground. It's really nice. That's nice. Damn. One more point, and the Sea Eagles have gone 27-0 before I have. What the hell? I mean, it's the high-scoring games of this season. Breaking news, Optimus Prime died. Saw that, yeah. I'm going to be honest, I didn't really watch any Transformers content when I was a kid or now. So, it doesn't mean anything to me. But, you know, obviously it's not nice to see people dying. Slash controversial take here, but I do think that death is bad. Yeah, good to see you back, St George Dragons fan. That's Connor Mulheisen, right? I saw that. Making a return from an ACL. Love to see a player make a return. Always really cool stuff. Really cool. I do remember the name, so yeah. All right, Atkinson hitting it up. So he's had a bit more of a stable performance since I said kind of close to hooking him. That said, it remains 26 points to nil, obviously. So, if you could see into the future, would you rather attend a Roosters grand final you knew they'd lose but by 2 points, or go to a Souths grand final that they beat Roosters in the prelim and Souths lose that grand final 50-0? I would pay absurd amounts of money to go to a grand final and watch Souths lose 50-0. That'd be a massive positive. Oh, that'd be wonderful. Hapuate returning the ball there. That's good stuff. I feel I've missed the start of this story, Ollie, but I'm sorry that whatever happened to you. It doesn't look like a good thing. So, yeah. Madsen, that would be I'm Only Sleeping. Admittedly, that is like one line before the title of the song. So, IRL said BBC wants the World Cup for free, which they already done in the 2022 World Cup. Okay, I can understand them not wanting to give it away for free. Obviously, it's a lot of content. But if you were thinking long term, you want it on a network like the BBC. You don't want it on Premier Sports. It will flop over there in England, I reckon, unfortunately. So, yeah. All right, 2 minutes left in this first half. Run there from Tyrell Sloan. I'm wondering, I don't know if there's any Super League fans in the chat who can update me on this, but the story of obviously him and a number of other Jaggers players, Fiona might be one of them, the man carrying the ball, who headed to Castleford with the Ryan Carr dismissal. If that's still going ahead, I believe it is, but we don't really get Super League news across here in Australia. So I was going to say across the ditch, but that's New Zealand. So anyway. So underneath this, good catch from Tom. I put a thumb up in the air. That's wonderful. I love that he's just done that. I don't know if he was signaling to the crowd or what, but he's just put his thumb up after getting that catch. He likes that one. Is that the one and only Blake Laurie out there? It is Blake Laurie in the big 2026 in what might be one of his last NRL appearances. Love that he's out there doing it. Legman, do you have Pepsi Max with you, or are people just redeeming it? Well, I turned it off, I'm pretty sure. I bought a bottle of Pepsi Max. I can't find it anymore. So I don't know. That pass was forward. And that will pretty much see us out for this first half. I'm going to look for it again at halftime, but anyway. Dixon says, I definitely disagree with you on the Payne Haas saga. How come? I take it would be... well, the main counter argument is if the player needs surgery, they need surgery. But keen to hear what else you would say about it. You're obviously entitled to your opinion. I'm not going to have a go at you for it. Watson says, it's annoyingly hard to find info sometimes. I was looking for injuries and not easily finding the timeline of when they'll get back. Well, when there was cost cutting in the NRL around COVID, one of the major areas in which they cut costs was their media stuff, as King Tommy is through here. NRL.com in particular. That's why it's so much worse than it used to be. Because of that. Alrighty. 26-0 is the halftime scoreline. I mean, they've absolutely treated the Brookvale crowd out there who showed up for their boys today against the eventual Wooden Spooners. Of course, confirmed Wooden Spooners. But that's cool. Tiger, have not seen it, unfortunately. If you put a TikTok up. Cook has confirmed he's still going. Fiona has remained silent, but has said he's a bit frustrated about the situation. And Sloan has said, I signed a contract and have to respect that. Okay, well, I mean, that sounds very committed then from them. That's good stuff. I'm going to look for this Pepsi, and I don't even need to like take the headphones off or take the microphone away. That's the beauty of this current setup. I can just go look. So, like I've okay. Basically, the situation as it is right now is I've got a bunch of stuff here next to me bed, and it's like clothes and that I packed leaving Canberra. But I had Pepsi in this bag, and it's not there. Which is, like, you understand how emotionally damaging that is for someone like me. To think that you have Pepsi and then you don't. You have the crippling realization of, wow, the caffeinated goodness that I thought I was going to enjoy tonight isn't there anymore. And then you don't know what to do with the situation. I will be honest with you guys right now. I'm way too far from the screen to read the chat, but I'm assuming you're all saying nice things about me. I think that's a pretty safe assumption, frankly. I have an empty bottle of Pepsi Max under here. That's no good. Bah! It was literally here. Okay, I'm going to check the other side of the bed. Shit. This is going to be an all-time stream? Yeah, it might be. The ones that are all-time streams, you never know that they're going to be an all-time stream. So if you think that they're going to be an all-time stream, it probably won't be. And it is your fault that you've said that now. Leaguie's so addicted to Pepsi, he probably finished it in his sleep. I mean, this was the thing, though. I bought 2 bottles, and I had one yesterday. So, that was, as I was, drifting off to sleep. Which, yes, I realize it's a caffeinated beverage and I'm probably not supposed to do that, but I've had it so much in my lifetime that the effects are really quite worn off on me, so it really doesn't matter much. Bruh. Yep. Hey, this is kind of cool. You might be interested in seeing this. Bit of niche rugby league memorabilia. What's this? Hmm. Um, and I'll show you guys what I've just found. I don't know why this one's laminated. I have a number of other ones. I remember getting this one laminated, but it's not signed or anything. Anyway, sick. Jared Hargreaves, 307 all time most kept rooster. Kind of cool. Yeah, I didn't put it up here or anything. Yeah. Well, I don't know what to do. JWH, yes sir. Thoughts on Netherlands women making it to the grand final, and I think it was hockey, but I'm not sure what sport. Also, I don't know if the video was recent because I didn't fact check it, but still cool. Well, thank you for bringing that to the table. Um, Probably is hockey. They love field hockey over there. We like it here in Australia, which I didn't know. There was one year where the men's and women's World Cup field hockey finals were Netherlands versus Australia. I think we won the men and they won the women. Um, which was weird as an Australian living over there. Your hair is black. Any coincidence? Maybe it's because you drank too much Pepsi. My hair is well and truly brown. There is not a chance you think this is black. Not a chance. You have a prized possession? Yes, and it's starting to weigh me down. I take it that's the Beatles reference you've gone for there. Amy Stewart's sister, Grace Stewart, is the Hockey Roos co-captain. That is very cool. Any relation to Glenn Stewart? I still haven't given up on this Pepsi, by the way. I think Coco wants to come in. Hello, dog. She was just going straight under the desk, so you couldn't even see her. But I can move the phone. Yeah. 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 In R26, a forward pass in your own goal is a dropout. Is that how the rule is IRL? Yes. Yes, it is. Wow. That is a dog. She's confused as to what's going on at this point in time, but it is okay. She's got absolutely no idea what to do. You know what else is you guys have seen her on screen? Oh, he's getting into her work. Getting into a bit of coke stuff. That right there, the culprit of who drank all my Pepsi Max, and it's the reason why I don't have any Pepsi Max. Thing is, you know what's going to happen? And I don't say this as a matter of opinion, I say this as a matter of fact. As soon as this stream ends, I will find it. I will find this missing bottle of Pepsi Max, and it's not going to even be that difficult. It's just going to show up to me. It will come to me in a dream, in a vision, a biblical vision of some description, and I'll be very, very annoyed. All right, it's probably a bit weird to be filming doing that. No need. No need. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. I'm not going to find it. There we go. Here we go. So, Dixon, Penhas needs surgery for preseason. It's definitely not worth playing in the World Cup. So my argument is that it is infinitely more important to the game of rugby league that a player like Payne Haas plays in the Rugby League World Cup than plays the start of preseason for South Sydney. That's the thing. It's not even World Cup or preseason. It's the start of preseason. So that being my position, I find it frankly quite difficult to argue against. You showed the game? I showed halftime. It's fine. It's fine. I hope you're aware, but there's a dog in your room, I think. I think that's misinformation. nothing you can get locked up for lying like that, frankly. It's a bit late for a 27 though, but I'll set one up. Would you like the Mackenzie Wiki 25 games poster her family made? I did that with too. Well, I just sent a microphone flying. I'll be honest, it doesn't really mean a heap to me. So probably will pass on that one. But I do appreciate the offer. Genuinely, I'm flattered that you would think of me. But yeah, I'd probably, frankly, just end up on a shelf somewhere. So, okay, let's give this a go. It's not framed correctly. Hang on. My camera now different. No, I was just further back in the shadows. All right, you know what? This is definitely not going to be the one, but I have blatant, belligerent confidence until we eventually will get there. Dragons 07. Where's it's that center. What was his name? Gaznia. Yeah, that's the one. Could have picked Brett Morris in the wing as well. Maybe that was the play. That was probably the play. Legman, do you think the NRL should do the third place playoff in the future? Absolutely not. I think the idea is utter work nonsense, personally. Billy Boston did not die for this. Which, Frank, oh yeah, Billy Boston. They didn't do a moment of silence for Billy Boston in this game. And I don't know if they did one last night, but I'm going to assume that they didn't. Oh, that's disappointing. We just do not care about English Rugby League. Do not give a damn. It's like I don't give a damn about these players. This really isn't good. I'll go tongue at lock. South 2000. Wow, this is really bad. This is really, really bad. Folks wants to leave already. I just looked over there as I opened the door and I was like, that's at the foot of my door. Why is there a hat at the foot of my door? Oh, yeah. I've got to work on my essay after this. In honor of Papua New Guinea and Josh Felony playing today, and you getting a job offer in law, what would constitute a felony in PNG? Probably saying rugby onion, but pronouncing it correctly. Thoughts on Dolly Parton dying? As I said before, controversial opinion, but I think death is a sad thing. I know. And that does make me a better person than you for holding that opinion. I'm going to restart this because it was going terribly. We weren't even playing first grade in 2000? Well, that would explain why your side was that bad. I saw El Masri, and he is the player, yeah. Good stuff. So I saw earlier on the Payne Haas thing, I didn't mean to miss Dixon's latest message. But the club definitely has more control on players. NRL needs to sell, not World Cup. So yes, I mean the club does have control of players as a matter of fact. But I don't think that should be the case. A lot of people have said the clubs play the players. The clubs pay the players. That's not completely true. The NRL actually do. They grant each club the value of the salary cap at the start of each season. So in effect, it's indirectly, but the NRL is who's paying them. So I think the NRL, who are taking a much more hands-on role in the World Cup and the international games, do have an opportunity to draw the line in the sand. Probably, unfortunately, not until the next round of negotiations. Probably should have gone proper there for Tapani. Stop giving me Raiders! What the hell? I don't have that many high-rated players. Just really wants me to pick a team of Canberra Raiders. I'm going to go with Shivkovsky on the wing. $1, you have a Benji JT Haas pairing. Well, unfortunately for you, that will not be the case. Letson says, problem with Payne Haas is that he's done interviews about playing for his culture and representing Samoa for the World Cup, and then goes and sits out for surgery in time for South's preseason. So here's what I'm going to say on that. I think that clubs do a lot of stuff in the background, pressuring players on to play these international fixtures. And the reason why I think that is because I have heard that firsthand from players. I don't have any proof necessarily other than just being told it. Obviously, a player wouldn't give me proof that their club is pressuring them. But you can understand why the clubs do it, and it's pretty obvious that they would. This is now my 4th Canberra Raider. This is insane. It's going to be Croker. I mean, this team isn't going to be it, but anyway. So yeah, I think that is what's happened here, and I think it's not that Payne doesn't want to play. I'm sure he would play, but I expect that Wayne probably has thrown a little bit of weight around. We even miss out on Jai Arrow. I mean, yeah, this one really isn't going to be 27-0, but I'm going to keep going anyway. Wayne's probably thrown his weight around and said, look, mate, we want you to get this surgery. We think we can do something at South next season. We want you ready for preseason. But this is the other thing. With a player like Payne Haas, you don't really need a full preseason. He's not... I know that there's strength and conditioning stuff, but he's not got anything to prove. It is a long season. He will 100% find match fitness. This is one of the most, I guess, like, just bang average teams that I've ever seen put together in this game. And they're about to get started for the second half. Michael Morgan's rated 86. That's about what I would expect. I'm not picking Aaron Clark, so he's through raw. You miss Benji Marshall? I know. I wanted Petro. I wanted to hold up for a better... I thought Petro was a good front rower, and I wanted to hold up for a better player anyway. That is bang average. Alright. Do you think NRL could fix Dalian by resorting to something similar to fantasy points to count the points and decide the best player? I don't... Well, I was going to say I don't mind the idea. I actually kind of do mind the idea. I think it's a nice idea to bring to the table. But the nature of our game is a lot more than just numbers. A player like Cooper Cronk, for instance, who is regarded as one of the best halfbacks of all time, was never a good fantasy player, never a good Supercoach player. Whereas on the other hand, someone like, I don't know, Aaron Clark, as man to get kicked off there. Aaron Clark, who, like, no one is saying Aaron Clark is one of the best forwards of this generation, but it's been a really good fantasy player for a number of years. So there's more to it than that. I know that it's potentially open to more bias and all that, but I just think we should get a panel of experts in the game to vote on who the best player in the world is. That's my opinion. So, what country do you want to host the next Rugby League World Cup? Well, of the realistic countries, I'd love to see France give it a go.
Well, that's why you get the big bucks, baby.
Well, they won't give it a go, and then they pulled out. Thank you, Mario.
Billy Boston first RL night. One of the code breakers, banned from Union, banned from Welsh national team, broke down crying after signing for Wigan as his boyhood dream was dead. Did nothing real lame.
He is one of the most important figures in the history of this sport. And I want to drive that point home this weekend, because the NRL have done nothing to do so, and I thought they would. I really thought they would. So that's very disappointing to see. He is someone, he's Welsh, right? He has a statue in his hometown of Cardiff. He has a statue in his adopted home of Wigan. And he has a statue outside of Wembley Stadium. This is a rugby league player who just died of the age 92. So, like, a hell of a long time ago. He's got statues in these places that are not rugby league places. Wigan is, Cardiff is not, London is not. So, like, incredible levels. Absolute trailblazer. And even if you look at details of, like, him being dark-skinned, for instance, like, that was a big deal in professional sports in a country like England way back when. So, yeah. Blazer of trails. As Atkinson gets through here, let's support either side. Gets over the halfway line. Nice start to the game. Sorry, to the half for him. But yeah, I properly thought that before each game this weekend we'd have a moment of silence for him. But no. On top of being a black man in the 60s, yes, well, as I mentioned there at the end, yeah. So, like, you know, we can't even do that for him. Really?
That's why you get the big bucks.
Prediction for Dogs game and Roosters win GF.
Well, I bloody hope we win the grand final. I'm not all quite as confident as I was this time last week. But Dogs game it's a tricky one because obviously the Dogs beat Penrith when Penrith were in better form and Dogs were in worse form at the start of the year. So look, I still think Penrith win, but I certainly hope that's not the case. I want to say though, just lastly on Billy Boston. I mean, I don't like. I think probably the 70% of people watching this stream would not have known of Billy Boston until this week. It's when they got 6 again there. And I don't blame you because we don't talk about the Super League here in Australia, and I think that's a massive shame. And even when we do, it's talking down to the Super League, so or just English rugby league as a whole, we talk down to. So a shame. That ball has found the ground. It'll be registered as another knock on there for the Dragons, but it was DNA who nearly got an interception. What was the other thing? Not many Welsh legends out there now still alive. Only Tom Jones left. True, and Gareth Bale. Tom Jones and Gareth Bale. Bale's not going anywhere anytime soon. I have seen Tom Jones in concert. Fun fact, I saw him at O2 Arena, Wembley. Wembley? No, O2 Arena, London. It's not in Wembley. Anyway. Why a 6 again is given after someone humps the ground? It's a way of solidarity to the queer community in rugby league. You know, the whole nature of the act. Anyway, Simkins is dummy half. Now in the hands of Lanaz. He had, is it just me, or did he not have normal hair this time last week? And now he's a skinhead. With maybe the worst, I guess you would call it, mullet that I've ever seen in my life. Unfortunately, well, Coco is not still there. Manly looks set to get yet another try here, and there's 6 more again. It's been knocked on by Lanaz. And it's just going to be ruled a knock on. Hugh Edwards is still around, but he's disgraced. What did he do again? Foxtel and KO treat the Super League like bad word. Hope they lose the rights to it. Well, it's not going to be a massively competitive bidding war for it. Excuse me. I had a massive by me before going on stream. And normally I can go away from the mic before doing that, but the mic's literally on me. The thing is, if a network like, say, 7 bid for it, 7 obviously tried to get the NRL, no one's going to go and watch Channel 7 just for the Super League. That's the difference there. So. Christian Bale's Welsh too, is he? I thought it was just British. Oh, well, sorry. English. Global round host country, Netherlands. We need an away day in Amsterdam, but that's massive personal bias. I think that'd be hilarious. Atkinson to find Flanagan. Puts it up in the air after a modest gain, really, from the Dragons, but they were working it out of their own end, so understandable. Legman, Joe Manu to PNG is top 3 betrayals of all time. He said he was going to come back. Nah, I disagree. I mean, well, obviously there's a lot of Roosters fans who agree with you, but in my mind, he goes without blessing. Get the bag, bro. I go to a new team. It's not like he's going to Parramatta, you know, another existing NRL team. He might still do for 2027. I hope not. I hope he maybe has a brief stint with the Roosters. That'd be nice. But yeah, anyway. I think 7 would be a good contender for Super League rights. If they go for all of it, it would be free. In terms of like what would be good for the Super League in Australia, yes, absolutely. But like, I don't think it's going to be a needle mover. Is sort of my point. So, yeah. All right, Falalo now on for Trebojevic. Bale played over 100 tests for Wales. He's the most Welsh footballer of all time. I don't know if you mean what I was saying earlier about not knowing Bale was Welsh. I'm talking about Christian Bale. Gareth Bale is absolutely Welsh, and I am aware of that. Don't you worry. That's been potentially knocked on by Wakeham. It's going to be a penalty there to Manly for not clearing the ruck. Do you think Roosters would still be likely to win the comp if they lose this week? I don't think we're likely to win the comp now. Depends how you define likely. I mean, to me, likely is 50% or more. But anyway, semantics. I think this week is a massive, massive deal for us. Huge deal. I think credentials are on the line. I said that after we lost last week. Definitely not the be-all and end-all. You could have the Roosters lose. And then we beat South's final round of the year. They nearly fashioned to try there, Manly. Go on a winning streak in the finals. We saw Broncos do it last season. But like the opportunity to stay in the race for a home final is huge. Obviously, when you're looking at potentially playing the Warriors or even Penrith. Like Penrith at Combat doesn't scare me massively, but Warriors in New Zealand does. So that's the thing. What's the other Bale is Welsh as well. He speaks language. There we go. Well, I did not know that. Interesting. Can you guys hear Coco barking in the background? Because I certainly can. Manu could have left us Familiars to play fullback years before he actually did, but stayed loyal. I have no ill will for him cashing in now. Same. Has that been knocked on by Sully? No, it's just ruled to be backwards. And I agree with that. I do think it was slightly backwards. The Brookvale faithful disagree. I don't know about putting in booze when you're 26-0 up and it's one tackle to go, but anyway, whatever. This has been a game of rugby league. That it has, by the scientific definition of a game of rugby league, most certainly. I'm looking at the stats, the knock-ons for each team here. Apparently it's 9 errors to 7 in favour of the Dragons. Given that we're less than 10 minutes into the second half, those are really bad numbers. It's not the worst of all time from Manly, but... Wow. Many Bales in Wales, evidently. Are there any other Bales that I know other than Gareth and Christian? No, I don't think so. Gareth, yeah. Former Dragon. Now in the hands of Simpkin. Although Gareth didn't play first grade at the Dragons, he just came through. Hey, Bale. Good shout. I mean, I'll give it considering we haven't got anyone else. And I like the way that you've thought of that. Fogarty puts it up on the last. Underneath it's going to be Atkinson with a catch there. What makes you hate Manly, Leaguie? Who says I hate Manly? I do not hate Manly. Oh, that ball has come free, and it's been picked up by Falalo, who might get the ball away. It finds the ground, and then Josh Felony ends up with it. I saw Tiger Walker say that was a felony of a try while the Dragons had possession on my screen. I think this will be given and was nearly completely messed up, but Felony scores for Manly. Hugh Edwards was a BBC newsreader that was exposed for messaging a 17-year-old boy and was caught having child porn. Yes, I do remember that now, actually. I didn't remember his name, but I do remember the story. So, yeah. Choose a new country to be a league nation with passionate fans. To be a league nation, it's America, because their cultural influence is unlike anything else. So if America were to become a league nation, then yes. Won't happen. But yeah, that'd be brilliant. If Wales get their own NRL team, would you name them the Wales since Dragons is taken? Well, they've got the Crusaders, I think, South Wales Crusaders, who play in the English system. So go with the Welsh Crusaders. So let's see, it was Falalo who passed it back. Has that been knocked on by Falalo then into a Dragon? I think probably, yeah. So this will likely be taken off them. Could go either way, though. I don't know if he's played at the ball after passing it. So, how about Argentina? Wouldn't it be near the top of my list? I mean, obviously they're a passionate fan base. They're a union playing nation as well. But really disconnected culturally from every rugby league stronghold. Try is confirmed. It doesn't surprise me that much. I think that he hadn't played at it. But yeah, culturally speaking, as I say, America works in terms of it being close to UK and Australia, New Zealand as well. Whereas Argentina is distant. Mario says, just realized that it's Paris and Manly's foundation anniversary. Why haven't we celebrated it? Unless they're celebrating it next year, but I guess they count different years as foundation. As it becomes 32. So no, yes, different years. Clubs do it differently. So I know the Roosters 100-year thing was in 2007, even though we started in 1908. And this, I don't know if NRL Head is here. It was named Critterhead now. I had I spent an evening explaining his concept to him, and he wasn't able to get his head around it once. But the first season you play is the first season. It's not the 0th season. So, Para were 80... Wait, when did Para come in? I thought 86, but that's when they won the comp. That's not when they came in. 67? I think it was 67. No, it wasn't. When did they come in? No, long before that. 47. Okay. So, it would be a case of Para counting it incorrectly. If they are going to go into next season and say that that's the milestone. But yeah. 67 was Cronulla and Penrith, yes. No, I knew 67 was Cronulla and Penrith. I was picturing their logo and I could see the 7. I could see the shape of the other number, but I didn't know if it was a 6 or a 4. I remember things very, very visually. Very visually. So 32-0 it is. 27 minutes left in this one. Not a hell of a lot to write home about, frankly, for the Dragons, but Manly have put on a show for their home crowd, and I like that. Manly was founded in November 46, whereas Parramatta was founded in January 47. So that could be the difference. I would still argue if Para played their first season in 47, then this year is their anniversary. Because their first season, as I say, wasn't their 0th season. But I know that in terms of merchandise and stuff, sometimes clubs like having the symmetry of both years ending in the same number. So, yeah. All right. Up onto that with a pass catch off the back of Tom Trbojevic. Boring game? Not really. I mean, kind of like, it's not a competitive game, obviously, but there's been entertaining moments. Didn't we play the same first season? Yes, I think you're just counting it differently. But the suit is back. It is. Well, to tell you the truth, I mean, I went to the suit. Let's hope I don't forget it again when I leave on Sunday morning. Unfortunately, I didn't miss the dunk. I haven't really been checking the Discord very much lately. Pass from Trbojevic onto other Trbojevic, and he just throws it over the sideline. Don't know who he saw. Maybe someone in the crowd. Yeah, I haven't been. I've been busy. I'm gonna be honest. I'm too busy for stuff like the Discord, and I'm only gonna get busier. I'm about to start a work placement, like a training program thing in a couple of weeks. Yeah, not next week, but the week after. I've got like a 9 to 5, all 5 days of the week, so that's not going to be fun. But yeah, you know, well, try and balance studying with that. Try and balance my residential scholarship with that, and then content as well, because that is the week of first week of finals. So I would want to make my ladder reactions video, and I want to make my guide to the finals video. So yeah, it's going to be the most insanely busy time. Intercepted there by Manly. Falalo has space. There's going to be no one in front of him. He's going to go the length. I think they might get him here. No, he goes the length. He goes the length. I want to look at the dead ball line here, but I think it's okay. Loki feel like Para in the 22 grand final. That one I was there at. That was just disappointing. Will you be back in camera for Sunday? Yes. Yes, I will. Yes. That was just, yeah, left by Flanagan. Overrun really by Couchman. And then Malala picks it up. Does well to get away from Egan, and then just pins the ears back. It's going to be 38 in a moment. Just came back. Manly only scored 2 tries in 13 minutes. Are they frauds? I mean, like top 8 frauds? Yes. They're definitely not going to get there, even though mathematically they can. But, yeah. Hello, Howard from South Africa. lovely to have you here. Lovely to have you here. There's been a handful of South Africans who've watched my live streams over the years, so it's a pleasure to have you. Pleasure to have you. 2001 was the big year. What? At least historically. Did I say something about 2001? Oh, sorry. Are you the sort of person that thinks 01 was the big year and not 2000? No. I don't know who thinks that. But it is mathematically true, as that kick is missed, that teams will play their 100th season 99 calendar years after their first season started. So you can be wrong, and it can look nicer on the merchandise, or you can be right and explain that to people. 66 points tonight in this game. I don't know if there's going to be 30 more on the way with only 23 minutes to go. Not impossible. Question, I think, at this point is, do Manly hit 50 and fade the Dragons? Although the Dragons were already faded earlier in the year. Taleb says, let's go, Manly. We'll make the 8. Maybe. Well, you're doing everything you can. But it's not in your hands, unfortunately. It's in the hands of other clubs. You need other results to go your way. So, yes, it makes sense, but it hurts my small brain. It is not a problem with you, because it's the case for so many people. And some others that just cannot get their head around it. So, yeah. Souths aren't selling tomorrow. Who do you play again? Rabbitohs, yeah, you're not going to lose to them. Well, I hope you do, but I don't think you will. I don't think you will. Simpkin finds Fogarty, who's done all the kicking tonight, as you would with Clayton Falala as your halves partner. That's back off Manly. Cook is the man there. It gets away from him. I think Hopewadi has kicked it further. This is still going to be the last. Hopewadi is just going to find Tom Trebojevic here. Has a little bit of room to work with. Fogarty with it. We'll put a second kick in. Potential for a 40-20. If the bounce can be right. But it just ends up with Atkinson. Not the worst option of all time in the end. So, yeah. It's all right, Chico. What do you think about the new rules trial last night? I don't know how they went, because I didn't watch the game. I was visiting my grandmother at the time. So, yeah, aside for the last 10 minutes, didn't see it. But evidently it didn't help blow out reduce the blowout of the scoreline that much. And I mean, I've made my thoughts clear about it. I think it will just really hurt comebacks at the end of games, and I love comebacks at the end of games, so yeah. I know they didn't use it in the whole first half, so. I don't know if it's just me, but it feels like this game should have about 8 minutes left in it. And yeah, I look at the clock and it's 21. That's crazy. How did the ball that you went to go? There we go. Yeah, I did go to a ball. It's lovely. It was really nice. Had a minor wardrobe crisis at the start because I knew exactly what suit I wanted to wear, and then I went in my cupboard about 20 minutes before I had to leave and found it completely crumpled up on the bottom of a suit bag and had fallen off the hook. So entirely crinkled and wrinkled and whatever, unironed. So very much emergency ironing situation, but a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I really liked it. Tony Large comes in to make his debut. You can't wipe the smile off his face right now. Look at that. He's happy. They love him at Manly, and I've heard very good things about him. I'm actually surprised to learn that this is his debut because I've known of him for quite some time. So that's very cool. That is very cool. He has a large smile. That he does. That's how you become a fan favorite straight away. What position is he? Halfback. And Sloan's forced over the side of the field. Nothing like seeing a young fella or lady reaching their dream debuting in the NRL. True. Very true. And that's exactly what we are blessed to see tonight. Lovely stuff. All good, WTF. See you later. What about if you're celebrating the fact that you have played, for example, 50 seasons, not celebrating the 50th season itself. Then yes, sure, but that's not what they do. I don't think you would get to turning 51 and then say, good, I have lived for 50 years. Is that how that works, or is it the other way around? It might actually be the other way around, because you have your 0th year. You don't get born as one. No, actually, it does work the other way around, because you do have the 0th year. But that's what doesn't apply to... It's what should apply to rugby league clubs, but instinctually doesn't. In terms of seasons played, rather than years existed. Knocked on by Atkinson again. God, he's had problems under the high ball tonight. God, he's had problems. Money God says, I'm going to stream the Dolphins game, the Liverpool game, and we'll start by playing games at 8. I'm probably going to end at 12 a.m. Right. Have fun with that. That sounds pretty full on. Enjoy. Bill Fraser was included in the extended squad for Storm's flag game in Fiji, but I think they're just taking as many guys as possible over for the Tui Kamikamitha Cup. I love that for them. Cool. That's very cool. This year's Manly 77th season, not their 80th as their logo implies. We do not talk about the Northern Eagles. So, all right, deep into the line there was Fogarty, who got it to Olakau'atu cleanly through, beats the ball. That is an absolute vintage Taumole Olakau'atu try. That's what you want from a big rampaging back rower, and Manly hit 40. Well, they're not all waltzing behind Manly this year, but certainly the Dragons are at the moment. 40 rugby league points to nil. Holy guacamole. Holy. Fun fact about Ozza Large. Ozza, is that you on a nickname basis with him, are you? One time I got sent to the bin for doing a high shot on him. Well, I'm sure he'd appreciate you calling him by his nickname, given that that's your history together. That's cool stuff, though. When the Bears join next year, what season will it be for them? Their first. Not their 0th. Oof, Atkinson's being hurt to dry these last couple of rounds. Really unfortunate stuff. I mean, it looks like an NRL career coming to the end in many respects. With Drinkwater obviously coming next year, with Gutherson still in and around, he would very much shift to third choice fullback. Yeah, not ideal. Oh no, as in they started in 1908. I'm not counting the Bears history, but the North Sydney Bears history into the seasons played as applying to the Perth Bears. I don't know. It's not really up to me. It's up to them if they want to include that. But I very much view Perth Bears as like a new entity that's taken on the branding. 30 misses that is... it keeps it all slightly open for the Dragons. 17.5 minutes to go. Only 40 points the margin. If it was 42, I'm prepared to say game's over, but only 40 points the margin. Seeing if I can spot a Denon Kemp in the crowd there. No, not quite. God damn. Only 13,500. Okay, the crowd's not actually that good. I thought it would be better than that. Yeah, but it's the capacity. It's a lot more than that. It's close to 20. Yeah, it's 18. So, it's Friday 6 p.m. No, that's okay. It's Friday 6 p.m. The King of Norway died. Rest in peace, Martin Odegaard. What a shame. Like, man, can you act like Isra Speed? No. He's a bit... It's not my thing. It's not my style. He's a bit... Little bit loose. Little bit of a loose cannon in some respects. So, I'm good. I'm so good. Perth Bears is a new entity that's licensing the Bears name. Yeah, so, I mean, that's why surely I go, it's their first season. But if they want to adopt that official history, I'm not gonna have a massive issue with it. So, yeah. Why is everyone lost? It's either season or anniversary. In this case, it's mainly celebrating 80 seasons. If Eels celebrate next year, they're celebrating their 80th anniversary. Basically, yes. It's different ways of counting. Who do you think will win, Panthers or Bulldogs? It's a boring tip, but I am definitely tipping Panthers. Again, I hope that's not the case. It'd be wonderful for me if Bulldogs could come up clutch here tonight, but yeah. Anyway. All right, Ron from Grouchman. No, it was Couchman. Damn it. Honestly, I just took a 50-50 chance there. Couchman wears 10. That's the way I can remember that. Although Couchman wears 13 would also kind of make sense because that starts with a T. Anyway. Who's your favourite Roosters player? Connor Watson. Very, very close second. Rex Bassingthwaite. It's not true, actually, but might be soon because that's a hell of a name. Large. Gave it large to Felony. Tigers game is win-win because if I win, life is great, but if we lose, Dogs and Manly are out of the finals. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for you. It's kind of a nice silver lining about supporting a club that's not in finals contention. You can just relax. I mean, very much a flex for me here, but in my time following this sport closely, my team's only ever missed the finals once since 2013, which is quite insane. But I do remember that season where we finished second last, and I was chilling. It was blissful. Anyway. Cleary or Burton? Yeah, Burton ended that conversation. Burbo gave it on to Felony, and it is going to be ruled just to knock on. Thought he might let that go and let it go to the bunker, but anyway. I don't mind Rex Bassingthwaite, to be honest. He feels like a player that was born 50 years too late. He is just a prime 1976 kind of player. He is the mullet, the name Rex Bassingthwaite. That is, you just know he had so many segments on Controversy Corner about him. My days. So, I like that. I do like that. First time since 2010 that both grand finalists haven't been in the grand final. Really? I guess Storm had a big old consecutive run. And then Panthers did. No, that wouldn't be true, because... Do you mean in both grand finals haven't been in the finals? Because we had, like, for instance, Roosters Manly was followed by South Dogs, was followed by Storm... Sorry, Broncos Cowboys. So yeah, in the finals. That said, though, I wonder what the other stat is, because we have had a run of Melbourne making back-to-back grand finals, and then Penrith for ages before that. It would be 2019 and 2020. It was Roosters Raiders and then Storm Panthers. That'd be the last time where consecutive grand finals didn't at least have one team in common. So there you go. I mean, Mario, in fairness, Rex Bassingthwaite is both small and white. So, yeah, I mean, that plays into it. Can we talk to a family member, please? I don't know who's home and who's not. But you do have a weird obsession with my family. So, I don't know. I might get my brother Simon if he's down. Fogarty puts a kick in low, drives it hard. Sloan returning this ball. Still 12 minutes to go. I am thirsty as hell because I'm supposed to be sipping on Pepsi Max right now. I don't even have a water bottle. I was just going to drink it from the bottle of Pepsi Max. I don't know. I'm going to go downstairs to get some water at the end of this game, that's for sure. Dylan Edwards or Connor Tracy? Dylan Edwards. Panthers players are better. Almost entirely than Canterbury's. Lily says, I'm back. Did you miss me and my glorious profile picture of Rob Toya? Well, it is glorious, but it's not the best center in the comp. Pacific Tonga is through. He's not got support around him. Dummies both ways. Does eventually whip a pass out wide. Holmes with it. I mean, it worked in the sense that it didn't get intercepted. Sure, throw it around. They've stacked the short side here. Absolutely stacked it. Sloan for the corner. He's going to get there. St George Illawarra will not be held to nil. Sloan gets the job done, and we get to hear that absolutely god-awful theme song at least once. We are the You have technically had a game today, you just didn't really play in it. Anyway, if the Roosters got removed from the NRL because no reason, what team would you go for? Roosters NRLW. Is that the new jacket or the old one back? Old one back. Believe me, when I get the new jacket, you're going to know that it's the new jacket. You're going to be like, oh my days, that's fly. That is... This is some, loosely fitting thing I got off the internet from a Chinese shop that I don't even think exists anymore. This other thing, to give you an update, I actually received an update about it today. Currently, it's on a boat coming here from Italy. Bro, crazy. They put the Leaguie suit on a boat. It's currently on the waves. It's bobbing up and down. From Italy. Crazy work. Anyway. I wish they had cameras in the commentators' booth if they commentate on site. Sometimes they do, and they put clips of it on social media. Rarely. Who's going to make the grand final this year? Roosters and Panthers. Kick there from Holmes. Literally, the grand final that people want to see the least out of the teams that are going to play finals. How much time is left? 10 minutes. Just over 10 minutes. On a boat from Italy, it might be getting used for some other purpose on the way. I mean, I don't really care what they do with it, just as long as the suit arrives here in a good enough condition. Would you rather Leclerc get his first World Drivers' Championship or Lewis get his 8th? Leclerc get his first every day of the week. Would be very, very cool to see Lewis win again. But I love Leclerc. I'd love to see him just get one. What would you do if NRLW Tigers win the comp? Be quite happy for them. If it's against the Roosters in the grand final, I'd be devastated having watched us lose back-to-back grand finals. But, yeah, if... Jack says, I really need some Couchman, Rouchman, and Stewart stat padding in the final 10. I need it bad. Well, they've got possession here. One Connor Mulheisen on the field? Yes, it is. It's not Mulheisen, it's Mulheisen, actually. Mulheisen. Who would you rather the Roosters play in round 1 of the finals out of the teams they could reasonably play against? Well, we could still finish first, and Cronulla could still finish 4th, and I'd like to see that happen. That looked more likely a week ago than it does today, though. Basically, at this point, I would take anything other than away in New Zealand. That's my concern. That's what I'm scared of, so... Yeah. Anyway. So that kick has travelled about 5 meters across the field. It's going to bounce. Knocked back there by Tauchman. Finds Sully. Now back to find Tyrell Sloan. Frasses it out wide. There's a bit going on here. Now Egan puts a kick in behind. It's being chased hard. Not going to be a try assist, unfortunately. But he forces a drop out there, Dylan Egan. Nicely done. Nicely done. Gabe says, hello, I'm back. Sorry I missed Sunday. No dramas. Was I even streaming on Sunday? Yes, I was. No stress. You did miss a very good stream. Yes. With the Roosters losing. It was emotional. It was an experience. It was not fun. But anyway, we made it work. We made it work. Do you think PNG will make the finals in 2028? Yes. Yes, I do. But I don't think they're going to win the minor premiership. Connor Mulheisen has scored. He's scored. Back off the ACL. You can see how much it means to the likes of Tyler Sloan and stuff. Dragons in again.
We are the St George boys. We've had a game today.
Will you be upset if Wales were to beat Roosters in the grand final, or would you be a little happy? Both. I would be deeply upset, inconsolable, that the life would just be kicked out of me like a sucker punch. But there would be a little part of me that's like, wow, that's good for the game of rugby league. And if we're losing to anyone, my God, I want it to be them. So yeah, it would be a really fun grand final week, because you have, I don't know if you've had the joy of supporting a team that's made a grand final, but grand final week you are just filled with a sense of existential dread that everything's just built around Sunday. You're just waiting for it to happen. And I wouldn't be relaxed, obviously, but I'd be genuinely excited. I'd be like, whatever outcome happens from this game, a part of you would be feeling positive about it. So I'd be feeling really, really quite okay. Oh, is it going to be called back? Oh, no sense of occasion. No sense of occasion. The other thing is, and this would be really fun as a Roosters fan, is that if it was a Roosters-Warriors grand final, wow, everyone would be on the Warriors bandwagon. We would be hated. 2019 was bad enough. This would be uncharted levels. Unlucky there for Rauchman, and even more unlucky for Malaysian. This one is going to be taken off them.
There's got to be an investigation into this. Someone's got to be accountable for this.
On Manly Old Boys Day, it's Manly Old Boy Jeff 2. He tells us that there's got to be an investigation as the try is taken off there. It'd be 2019 for me with the Raiders. I would have been Devo, but there'd be a small smile. That's interesting. I mean, I can understand why. You know, the premiership drought that they have. I didn't really have that at the time. I was just so focused on back-to-back, because I'm sure you were as well as a Roosters fan. But I do think the Warriors winning has a demonstrably good impact. So that'd be kind of sick. I'll tell you what, if it's a grand final between them and Penrith, I'm with you. I'm with everyone, obviously. Ace says, I sadly haven't had the joy of supporting a team that made a grand final since 2011. Can't even say 02 since that was before my time. Well, that's what we're talking about. And everyone's saying that we'd love to see your Warriors in a grand final. Just hopefully against my Roosters, for my personal interest. But anyway. 6 more here for Manly. As Simpkin goes on a little run. I think if we verse Waz or Pars in week 1, we don't make the grand final, because that means we most likely lose. Only lose to Waz if in New Zealand, and then verse the other in week 3 when they're rested. Well, you got to win week 1. You got to win week 1. But yeah, I mean, I don't think we win the minor premiership from here, so that's the path for us. Try time there. After a try was taken off St George Illawarra at the other end of the field, rightly so, by the way, of course. They go up the other end of the field off the back of a penalty, and it's Hopawate scoring for Manly. Leaguie, are you wearing purple? No. Does it look like I am? Is the lighting that bad? If the Women's Titans win the comp, is that the first time a Gold Coast A-grade team has won anything? To my knowledge, yes. I believe so. Favorite Jai Arrow moment? I've got one, but it's really personal to me, and it's not really... There was a Jai Arrow try that he scored for the Broncos in 2016 at a Roosters game, and I was on TV after he scored it. So, it wasn't that good a try, but I just remember that. He had the conversion. I think they posted it on their social media earlier in the week. There's Cliffy Lyons behind John Hopawate. Very cool. But he's a player who, I don't think he really has come up with big, flashy individual moments, but he was just always there in the Origin team. Always there. Obviously a star at the Titans. Him, that era, it was him. It was Jared Wallace, who carried that Titans pack for quite a long time. And then went to South to try and pursue a bit more excellence and was able to compete in a good team for a long time. As Garrick misses that one. If Dragons come back and win, they'll have a chance to evade the spoon. Titans must lose every game, but Dragons would have to beat the Eels by 140 points. Well, I don't think that's overly likely to take place. But anyway. Backfence Nathan Brown is waiting for this one. Do they have a sense of occasion? Are they going to kick in that direction? Let's see. There's the kickoff Brown is the... Oh, no! Brown has not been able to receive the ball there. It was Ben hunted off the kickoff, unfortunately for him. And he's not happy about it. It was a knock-on from Fogarty. I mean, it's 5 minutes ago. It's not going to matter, but whatever. Lily says, remember the time you supported the Storm, said Jack Howarth was the better centre than Rob the Goat Toya, then gaslighted us into thinking it never happened? I do not remember that, no. Not a clue what you're talking about. There is no video evidence of that ever having taken place. Just as long as you don't go out and look for the video evidence, it's definitely there. So Dragons have a chance to cut the deficit to a massively important 32 points. They had a half opportunity there. It stayed in the field of play. It's going to be 6-4 for Los Dragones, but it was on the first anyway. It doesn't really matter. Anyway. Do you think that it's a bit strange that in the week where NRL changed the rules to let Jai Arrow play again, Broncos can't do anything close for Adam Reynolds? A bit different. One has motor neurone disease. The other is retiring. So I don't think they're comparative situations. But should the Broncos have done more for Adam Reynolds? Yes. For sure. Absolutely. I still view him as a Rabbitoh, and I think that it'll be nice if next week he can ring the bell for South Sydney against the Roosters as they run out onto the field. That'd be really nice. I can't find a Jai Arrow try when you were on the TV. It was Roosters versus Broncos, 2016, late-ish in the season, about 2/3 into it. I wasn't front and center on TV. You wouldn't be able to spot me, but I knew what I was wearing and I knew where I was sitting. And when I was... You have to understand, as there's a good kick through from Flanagan, Sully's going to score. Consolation try. You've got to understand that I was living in the Netherlands at the time, and it was a very brief holiday back to Australia. So it meant a hell of a lot to me to even just be able to pause the TV and be like, that's where I am. That's where I'm sitting. That was so cool to me. So yeah. Chico says, I bet South will honour Reno better than Broncos. If they're allowed to. I mean, certainly they'll be able to next year, if not in the final round. But in the final round, Broncos will have already played their last game. It will be in Sydney. Hopefully they... I saw Matty the Waterboy talk about this on Bloke in a Bar today. Hopefully they let South Sydney do something for Reno. They're playing Elton John at the ground. Yeah, Benny and the Jets. No, I read it in the magazine. No, oh, Benny and the Jets. Oh, that one, John. Don't know if you... Well, you definitely do know that, but anyway. Should they let him ring the bell? I think they should let him ring the bell, yes. I don't know what... Like, maybe they've already got someone lined up to ring the bell in that game. I don't know. So, yeah. That's what I would do. Comeback is on. Dragons to win 6 on tries in 3 minutes. Yeah, it can be done easy. Who's the best goal kicker in the league? I love the way Jermaine Asako strikes them. I would have said Nathan Cleary until quite recently, but I might say Asako now. Tell you what, it's not Jamal Fogarty, and based on that, it's not Val Holmes either. Excuse me. All right, so Cook on the sideline there. 34 points is the margin. Obviously, he's heading off to the Super League next year. So, well, we'll see if Damien Cook in the NRL will take place next week. Who do they play? Who do the Dragons have the misfortune of losing to next week? Parramatta. So, you know what? It's in Wollongong. They might not actually lose to them there. Fair enough. Chalmette is definitely not the best goal kicker in the league. He strikes the ball well, but in terms of accuracy, definitely not. That short kickoff has worked. Yes, it has worked. They've got the ball back here, the Dragons, eager up to nearly the halfway line. Dragons 35-point try. I mean, if you kick the field goal, let's say they kick a field goal from the other side of the Harbour Bridge, is that far enough for it to be worth 35 points? Dragons have not won a game in Wollongong in 2026. That is depressing. Wow. Not great. Which of the balls they are currently using to play the game is your favorite? I only see one on the field, thankfully. But what a hell of a question. I've certainly never been asked that before. All right, back in field there to find Couchman. So there's a minute and a half left in this one. My God, I just want this to be over. I'm going to get a lovely drink of water because my voice is getting gravelly. King Tonga, short ball, and the ball comes free, and it's being knocked on by basically everyone there. I think it was Dragons first. I went to the 2023 Perth game and watched Isako score a first half hat-trick against the Knights, and later that night, the Rabbitohs got humbled by the Sharks. So I love Jermaine Isako. He's a very lovable player. Really resurrected his career. Was super on the outer at Brisbane. Unironically, I think one of the best goal kickers is Garrick, who got replaced by Fogarty. I don't know why Garrick doesn't goal kick for Manly, but they evidently know better than us a form of those two goal kickers in training. So, yeah. So Manly will need North Queensland to lose both, or South to lose both. Neither of which are likely to happen, seeing as they play the Titans and Tigers respectively this week. All right, run from Hamole Olakawatu up over the 30. I watched the 2019 Grand Final where Roosters won against Raiders, says Mr. Duck. My family was supporting Raiders. I said with the right choice, even as a Dogs fan and supported East. Good on you. Good on you. Glad it worked out for you. I was glad it worked out for me. That's full time, and this game worked out for absolutely nobody, except Manly fans. I guess they'll be happy with that. They would take it. It's been a really interesting season for Manly. Obviously started absolutely dreadfully. They signed Kieran Foran, who was playing NRL last year, as their coach. Very, very high highs, some difficult lows, but they end the season at their Brookvale Oval. At least still got one more game to go next week, but they end their home season with a dominant win, 34 points over the Dragons. Folks, we have 10 minutes until the next game gets started. I need to go get myself some water. But you're going to get to hear the Manly-Warringah theme song for the next minute. And then we will be into, by far, the more important and interesting game of today's stream, which is Panthers and Bulldogs. Dogs managed to get a win over the Panthers earlier in the season, where they were in worse form and Penrith were in better form. So we'll see. Huge, huge fixture for the Dogs. It's do or die, and the opposition is great. So we'll see what they can come up with. Anyway, I will be back very, very shortly. See you in a bit.
Of the mighty seagulls chants the crowd around the ground. This is our year, seagulls to win. It's been won by the Dragons, the Rabbitohs we don't deny. But this is our year, so join in our cry. Manly-Warringah, Manly-Warringah, they'll all be waltzing behind you this year. Manly, Manly, Manly is the chant you hear around the ground. They'll all be waltzing behind us this year. Of the mighty seagulls is the cry you hear above the din. Manly-Warringah, the Eagles to win. From